Yeah.
You want to like them, but you can't.
Are you listening?
What?
Are you listening?
Did you bring me on this show to insult me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't want it with us, man. We straight gangsters over here.
Straight
man.
gangsters.
Ah.
Yeah, good morning and welcome back. That is right. You are listening to Scout Team Radio. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, right here on 12 Ounce Sports Radio. I am one of your favorite hosts. They call me Loudbeard.
You are the most egotistical, self-deluded person I have ever met.
And all of that is always true. And the man on that other microphone, he's a great American. He is an okay patriot. You know him as
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is your boy Chris America coming to you live this Thursday, August the 22nd, 2019. Loudbeard, and it is a great Thursday. I don't know why. Sometimes Thursdays are better than Fridays. Maybe because it's like it gets you hyped for Friday.
Oh yeah, it's the pre-Friday vibe, man. Well, you're like all
sometimes
right,
Christmas
all
Eve
right,
is
I'm
better
almost
than
there.
Christmas.
Right, it's all about the anticipation. That's what makes it. The event itself is just, it is what it is, but the anticipation waiting up for it, like you're so close. It's almost Friday. It's almost here. It's right around the corner. That's what makes Thursday so great.
And of course, on Thursday nights, we go into the weekend with some craft brewed sports. Guys like Sky Kaiser, Mike Burlon, bringing us home.
Oh yeah, those are good friends
8:30s.
over there.
12-ounce sports.
Yep. 8:30 p.m. You can listen to it on 12 Ounce Sports or catch their Facebook live feed. Of course, we want you to listen to it on 12 Ounce Sports, though. This is our mother station. This is the mothership.
The
so you should listen to it there. But if you want to catch them live,
Mother 12-ounce sports radio.
Mother Russia. If you want to
Mother
catch
Russia.
them live where you can actually see their ugly mugs, then yeah, go ahead. Catch them on the Facebook Live. Just search Craft Brewed Sports. You can hit those guys up. So yeah, hype train for Craft Brewed Sports tonight. I'll be watching. Definitely be part of my agenda, if you will.
So, Loudbeard, I got to the bottom of this Sony Marvel spat.
Okay, so you were able to do some digging,
Yep.
investigative reporting. Okay, good. I'm ready to hear it.
Well, it's all on Sony.
Okay, 100%, huh?
100%. So, I guess the deal was, and I have to assume that Marvel and Disney only agreed with this just so they could have him for the Avengers movies. But I guess when it came to the independent Spider-Man movies, Sony and Disney went 50-50 on production, and then Sony made 100% of the profits. And
Wow.
so Disney this time around was like, so how about we go in 50-50 on production, and then we do 50-50 of the sales. And Sony's like, no, we'll just take Spider-Man back.
Ooh, yeah, that definitely falls on the Spider-Man. Sony man.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about. That
So
definitely
that's why I
falls
said
on
I
them.
think the only reason why Marvel agreed to that deal to begin with is so that they could have them in their own Avengers movies and the Civil War movie. I think they were just really wanting him that bad for that storyline. So they're like, we'll do anything. But now that they don't have that Avengers storyline anymore, now that's why they're like, let's go a little bit more fair on this one. We bent over backwards for you last time. Let's become partners. Let's become an equal partner in this. And Sony's like, no, we're good.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Larry King situation when you have 7 divorces. You know, the wives, they're not just like, hey, I want to go 50-50. Like, they're usually like, I want 99.9% of your belongings. So that's why it's not good to get divorced 7 times like Larry King. And in this case, Marvel's like, no, we need to go 50-50. I've been a good parent. I've been a good husband. Can we just split it 50-50? Let's do that. Sony, like a scorned woman? No. Was that dramatic enough for you?
That was great.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Here, another. This is how I know this is a big story. I got a little personal story to give you about this Sony. So, I'm talking to my 11-year-old daughter, and I'm sitting there, and she's like, "Hey, Dad, did you hear about Sony and Marvel?" I was like, "Well, yeah, of course I did. I mean, that's big news, right?" She's like, "Well, have you seen all those Area 51 raid memes?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I have. I mean, I talk about it all the time on the show. I know all about this. I'm hip on the social media. I know what's going on."
That's when you
She's
got to be like, honey, I'm a world-renowned journalist. Of course I know these things.
Yes, I'm an investigative reporter, world-renowned, all over the planet, international. So yeah, that is all. That's true. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, so where's this going? She's like, "I don't know if you've seen this, but now everybody's wanting to raid Sony instead of Area 51 because of this." I said, "Oh, really? I did not see that."
Change of plans.
Change of plans. That's right. We're going to change it. So she was telling me all the ins and outs of now because of this, because of Spider-Man, and she was like totally bummed out about it. I didn't even realize she was like that into it. Now, I did take her to go see Endgame, and she's seen some of these Marvel movies. But yeah, she was like, "Man, I can't believe this. This is really sad. Spider-Man's not going to be part of Marvel." She's like, "I can't believe this happened." It's like, man, at 11, you really just have a really good understanding of the world. I appreciate you. That's what
Now,
I
I
said.
know, I think her bigger disappointment, though, just from hanging out with her and Landon at Volcano Bay this summer, she was a big Tom Holland fan. Because I would ask her about what movie she liked, just to kind of create conversation. And she's like, "Well, I don't really care for movies. I just like actors and actresses." And so the big reason why she liked Spider-Man is because she loves Tom Holland. So now she's more upset that Tom Holland is no longer going to be Spider-Man, or might no longer be Spider-Man.
Tom Holland, he's a very talented actor. And the reason I say that is I once saw him on Lip Sync Battle, and he was amazing. He was absolutely amazing. If you've never seen the Tom Holland Lip Sync Battle, you will have a true respect for what this man, his whole
no.
range.
I think your daughter told me about it and said that he's actually a very good dancer as well.
Yes, he is. You know what? I don't blame her. I mean, if I was an 11-year-old girl, I'd have a crush on Tom Holland too. As a 36-year-old man, I think I do have.
Wait, you're not an
crush.
11-year-old girl?
No, I'm not. But as a 36-year-old man in an 11-year-old girl's body, I am going to say that I do have a crush on Tom Holland. I'm not afraid to admit it. He's a sexy dude. He's a sexy dude. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a poll up about him, see what people think about Tom Holland. Now, I don't know if you saw this or not, Chris America. I put it up on our Scout Team Radio page this morning. Aaron Rodgers was walking into was in Winnipeg, walking through the airport, and man, he was looking really sexy. I just wanted to throw that out there. So if I'm gonna have a man crush Thursday, and I'm man crushing on Tom Holland, I got to throw some love out to Aaron, because he's got the Canadian tuxedo rocking, he's got the bolo tie, and he's got the little handlebar mustache. I mean, this is everything I would want in a man right there. So I tweeted out this picture, just asking our listeners, is this the sexiest man alive? And obviously, I already know the answers. He's not, because Tom Holland is, but he's number 2. It's close second.
He's number 2. It's okay to be second.
Not really.
Uh-oh. Loudbeard. Jenny of Ohio tweeting in. Wasn't sure if y'all knew, but Hell is Real Part 2 is on Sunday. Man, they always come out with sequels so fast these days, especially when they're horror films. It seems like they just generate those horror films out over and over again, right?
Yeah, they can bust them out. It 2 is coming out, and I can't believe that. And now Hell is Real is coming out too.
Hell is Real Part 2 is on Sunday.
It's, wow, where do these come up so quickly?
So she's wanting to know, is Scotty K going to join in on this bet this time?
I think that would only be fair. Now, Mike Berlon, he did his best, but he did it. He put it out on Twitter, and I appreciated his fire and ice bet. For our listeners who don't know what we're talking about, Hell is Real is the Columbus Crew going up against the Cincinnati FC, whatever they are. And this is a real battle, a real competition. This is a juggernaut of a war with 2 really awful teams. And the worst team and the best team get to go at it what are they ranked 11th and 12th in their divisions in the MLS, whatever it is. They're still decent teams. And the bet was whoever had to drink the Smirnoff Ice and throw back a Fireball, and they both lost basically because it was a tie. And for some reason, there's a sport that allows for ties, and that sport is known as football. I mean, football. And in that one, Jenny had to do it, and she did it like a man, and she did it like a real woman, I should say. And she was awesome. And so now she's challenging Scott Kaiser. I'd like to see Scott Kaiser do it. I'd like to see him step his game up.
I think next time they should do a waterfall if they tie.
See, that's...
Do you know what that is?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like a continuous...
But I don't know who gets to start the waterfall.
Yeah. You mean between Scott and Mike?
No, between Jenny and Scott. Or Jenny and Mike.
Yeah. You're getting creative.
I am. I'm going to have to mull this one over because I don't know if we want to do the same thing again. I mean, maybe we should... Should we force Mike Berlon to repay off his bet? Because even Fireball chimed in and said they were disappointed on Twitter. I don't know if you saw that. Mm-hmm.
No.
It was pretty funny.
I actually like that, Fireball. This makes... So because Fireball's involved, I think you have to continue with the Fireball in the bet, right? So they want to know...
Fire and Ice?
Yeah, a little
now,
Fire and Ice.
Should we pick something else? Because they both had trouble finding Smirnoff Ice single bottles. Like Mike Berlon, I think he said he had to buy a 6-pack, so he probably still has a couple left over.
Yeah, he's looking through his refrigerator. He's thinking, White Claw, Smirnoff Ice, Natter Day, Pumpkin Spice Hard Seltzer.
Oh, he's definitely got some Pumpkin Spice Hard Seltzer.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of everything in there. So, honestly, out of that mix, Smirnoff Ice is going last. I mean, it's back in the back corner with the Zimas.
Yeah.
I mean, what else would you do with all that stuff? You can't drink it, right? It's not even a real food. It's kind of like a Wendy's Frosty. It's just not real food. It's like, what is a Smirnoff Ice?
Frosty. Oh, right. Smirnoff Ice. Ugh. I remember getting sick off of those because they're just so sugary.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And when your stomach starts churning.
Yeah, I do that. When I was in college, I think is when they first kind of came out. So they got real popular. Kind of like the White Claws, got real popular this year, or the Natter Days. Same thing happened with Smirnoff Ices when I was in college. So you'd get some, and you're like, oh, yeah, these are so good. Like, they're really sweet. There's a good flavor to them. And then, like, 3 sips later, you're like, oh, my God, I can't do anymore. You're like, I have a 6-pack, and I've had, like, 3 sips of this. I've got to finish it all. Because you're thinking of it, like, I would think of it in terms of beer, right? Like, you don't waste a 6-pack of beer. You go through it all. It's man code. And so you go through it all, and then the Smirnoff Ice, after maybe 2 or 3 of them, you're like, oh, my God, my life is torture right now. This is just the worst thing ever. Anyway, that's my memory of Smirnoff Ice also, Chris America. So we share that. We share those poor memories.
Yeah.
And that's why you can't find it a single one. Yep.
There's 2 regrets of people who grew up in the 90s, getting Frosted Tips and drinking Smirnoff Ice.
Yes.
And those tribal band tattoos.
Oh, man, you got to live with those, though, man.
Yeah.
Ooh, you still see guys with those, and you're like, oh, sorry, bro.
Oh, sorry,
bro. I feel for you.
But then they usually try to own it by getting those bedazzled jeans and tap out T-shirts or Affliction T-shirts.
Oh yeah, the Affliction guys. Yeah, they usually cover it up pretty good with that. But usually the Affliction sleeve is usually a little shorter, and so it shows off the tribal band on the bicep. Mm-hmm. That's what Aaron Rodgers needs to add to his repertoire. Oh,
is it an armband tattoo?
Yeah, the little tribal armband. That would be pretty nice, pretty sweet. One last thing on the Smirnoff Ice is, as a company, it's brilliant not to sell them in singles because, after one, everybody's kind of like, I'm done. I don't need more. No, you sell it as a 6-pack. You make them own that entire 6-pack. You don't just sell a single. You don't let them off the hook that easy. That's what you do as a company. You force your consumers to suck it up and take down every bit of your 6-pack. Yeah, there you go. Take that, America.
Showed those guys.
Yep. So before the show started, we did have David Green tweet in at us. He tweeted in something about a Tampa XFL team. I'll be honest, if David Green, if you're still listening out there, I'll be honest. I tried to stay away from these XFL teams because you, Chris America, you have a great segment for us. It is a thinker or stinker coming up. And what is that one going to be about?
Oh, sorry, I sneezed like twice while you were talking. Thinker or stinker on these new XFL mascots. Was listening to Spencer, Memphis Spence. He was giving them out, and just came up with the idea because I was like, man, some of these are thinkers, some of these are real stinkers. We'll have to see what Loudbeard thinks later on in the show. So, XFL Loudbeard, what do you think? 1 season, 2 seasons? Is it bad that we think this way?
Yeah, it is bad that we think this way. I'm hoping it's more than just 1 season. I'd like more than that. I stayed away from the XFL news. I didn't want to know anything about it. And, oh, come on, Mike Berlon. He's giving it away. Spoiler alert. This is terrible. I'll get to that in just a second. But, yeah, I think it's terrible to think that way. But I'd like to have some sort of just continuity, right? I want more than 1 season. I'd like to have a few seasons. Let's see where this thing can go. All these minor league football teams, or whatever you call them, independent league football teams, they all struggle. The only one that I've ever seen have any sort of longevity is the Arena Football League, right? That's the only one, and that one still never really could make it. So I don't know that it's promising, but I had so much fun this past season with the Orlando Apollos, man.
The Orlando Apollos. I mean, look, we had an undefeated season going. We had a dog that caught a Frisbee 82 yards away. We got kicked out of a press box by Bill Polian. I mean, it was an amazing. It was a solid 7-week ride.
Yeah. So now we've got to figure out how do we get the XFL to do that. Now, I try to stay away from all the news because I do want this thinker or stinker to be a legitimate. Like, I just want to give you my full emotions at the time. Now, David Green did give one away. He said something about a Tampa Vipers team, which now leads me to believe that there's not an Orlando team, and now I'm depressed.
Wait, what do you mean? They've already announced the cities a long time ago.
You're right. We're just going off of mascots.
And so, okay, so let's go thinker or stinker. Tampa Bay Vipers.
Is that going to be the... No, I can't dig it. The Vipers... Chris America, I'm going to have to say, if Mel Viper is the official mascot for the Tampa Bay Vipers,
yes,
then it is a thinker. But if it is not, no. It sounds like a 80s karate movie starring Daniel Day-Lewis is what it sounds like.
Yeah. The Tampa Bay Vipers.
Yeah, I can't.
They should have gone with, like, the Tampa Bay Florida Men.
Yes. I don't know. I'm just not into the XFL as much, man. I wanted the other league to. I forget even what the name of it was. I'm saying the Orlando Apollos. AAF. Yeah, that one. I've already forgotten it. See, I've already pushed that back to the back of my memory.
Yeah, because you were scorned.
Exactly. I
you
was
were
scorned. Like Marvel with this whole Spider-Man thing. It's just, it hurts deep down inside. So that's our thinker or stinker there. So we'll get into the rest of the thinkers or stinkers on these mascots that have been announced for the XFL. We'll do that after the break. But Chris America, I have a story that made me think of you.
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, yeah? So the MLB, Major League Baseball, they send out a warning to all of their players about purchasing over-the-counter sex pills. So these sex pills are most commonly found at gas stations. You know, they're sitting on the counter.
Yep.
And it's not usually like your really nice Wawas or racetracks. It's usually at those, those seedy gas and goes where, you get in there and they got a funny smell. The bathroom hadn't been cleaned in 7 weeks. And up on the counter, written in a, permanent marker and a Sharpie, it says, sex pills, take one here, only, $3.99 each. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, this has got to be a reliable source to get my sex pills. So this is where I'm going. This is where the good stuff
And they're
is.
not like clean and professional like Viagra, where maybe they got like a picture of just like a nice looking gentleman who you'd think makes like six figures. No, this is like it's got like Korean or Chinese or Japanese words on it with like a tiger, and it just looks like it's shady.
Yes, yes. Buy me Sex Tiger. I will make you have sex like a tiger.
Like a tiger.
Like a wild animal.
You'll be on the prowl like a tiger.
Yes.
Be strong and independent.
Yes. It has all good ingredients, all natural, but make you real tiger.
Real
So
tiger.
So the MLB actually has to send out an official memo warning players of these types of sex pills.
Mhm.
And this is not a joke, Chris America. This is
No.
serious. So they said these products that they carry a high risk and a high likelihood of contamination and or unidentified ingredients. So far this season, 2 players in the MLB have had suspensions for violating the performance-enhancing drug policy, and both of these players say it is because of these over-the-counter gas station sex pills. And apparently, the culture of Major League Baseball has now become a culture where many players have resorted to going to these seedy gas stations to purchase sex pills. And this is now a commonplace in Major League Baseball. So these players, and in Major League Baseball, a lot of them are making, good money. And they could go out and get a Viagra or Cialis or whatever. And the MLB is saying in the memo, yes, please go see a professional. Get something that is a legitimate drug. It's not like it's a money issue typically. Go get something for real, and do not go to the gas station and get whatever it is that you're ingesting, because it is definitely a performance enhancer. Yeah. So that warning, it made me think of you. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either. I don't know how I knew that they were tigers printed on these things.
Well, I think you may be the expert in tigers. That's what it is.
I am a tiger expert.
You're an animal man. You like the great outdoors. You like nature. You like all things pertaining to tigers. That's why I thought
Yeah.
of you in that story. There's no other reason why.
Well, Loudbeard, Jenny of Ohio wants to know, are there any Bodie McBoatfaces representing the XFL teams? We'll have to wait for that one, Loudbeard, because if there is, I'm gonna have to say you better give that one a thinker.
Well, yeah. I mean, if Bodie McBoatface was on there, that would be an automatic thinker and the number 1 team going into the season with, I guess it's not Super Bowl aspirations because it's not the NFL. The championship, the XFL champions, Bodie McBoatface would basically be the champion before the even season started. We'd do it like college football where we voted in based on who we like more. And because we like that name so much, we'd vote them in. They'd all automatic bid right there, Bodie McBoatface.
All right, Loudbeard, why don't we do this? You and I are going to come up with names before the break for XFL teams, and then you're going to do a thinker, and then we'll have a vote. We'll put our list against the XFL's list of team names and see who wins. The scout team, creative team of team names, and I just said the word team like 15 times, or the XFL's creative team names. All right, let's start off with New York, because, New York doesn't have enough sports teams to root for. Why not another one, right?
Yes.
I think the New York team is just going to fail awfully. I don't understand why anybody in New York would want to go to an XFL football game when they have a plethora of other sports teams to spend their money on. They have 2 soccer teams, 2 basketball teams, 2 hockey teams, 2 NFL teams. They got They got a few college basketball teams in there that are pretty decent from time to time.
Sure.
You have Broadway, all different types of clubs. Why would you want to go see an XFL game?
Well, if I'm a New Yorker, I don't know why I would. I don't. There's no good reason. There's none whatsoever. Maybe Maybe if we had a better name for them, it would be a good reason
All
to
right.
go.
So what do you think the New York XFL team should be called?
That's a great question. So I know they're a Big Apple. So I'm
Yep.
thinking, what is it that would take out a Big Apple? What strong symbol would be popping through a Big Apple? And I'm thinking a giant worm. So yes, for me, if they were the New York Giant Worms, that would be the best team name ever.
The New York Worms?
Giant Worms.
Oh,
so you
the
have
New
the
York
Giants.
Giant Worms?
In real football, you have the Giants. In XFL, you have the Giant Worms. No? Yeah?
Well,
no? Yeah?
They're also
No?
known for like pizza and Broadways. What about the New York? No, not New York Broadway Joe's. That sounds kind of stupid.
Well, that was your idea, not mine.
Yeah, I know.
Just pointing that part out of it, this whole thing. I mean, Giant Worms is obviously a kicker right there. You can't beat that. So, I mean, I don't even know why you're trying.
The New York Pedicabs.
All right, yeah. Gotten even
Do they
better.
have pedicabs in New York City? I've never been to New York City.
I don't know. See, I'm thinking more along the lines of like the Ninja Turtles were in New York, right? That's where they were
Yeah.
developed in the sewers of New York.
The
So,
New York
like,
Ninja Turtles?
Well, I was just gonna think like giant mutated turtles. I like the word giant and whatever.
You do
I
like the word giant in your sports team names.
Yeah, that's what she said.
That is what she said.
I'm overcoming, something. I like a
All
giant.
right, what are we going? Are we going with the Worms?
Going with the Worms.
All right, the New York Worms.
Either
I don't
that
know. I
or
don't
the
like- I
giant
don't-
mutated turtles. Either way, I'm good.
The giant mutated turtles who are ninjas.
I mean, the ninja part could honestly, you already know that the end of the story. You just,
Yeah.
yeah. And we don't want to get sued by, what, Nickelodeon owns them or something? I don't know. I don't want to get sued by them. So I'd rather just keep it a giant mutated turtles. I think that would be enough to say, like, no lawsuit infringement.
The New York Giant Mutated Turtles. All right, we got that one down. Tampa, Florida men. I think we should settle on that one, right?
Oh, Florida man?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. I mean, there's always Florida woman.
Yeah.
Florida person. I mean, we are a political correct society.
Well,
We've got to come up with a...
We'll go Florida men because Florida men is way more is way more prevalent than Florida woman.
Okay.
We don't need to get politically correct here, Loudbeard. We can say
Yeah,
Florida men.
I was gonna.
It's a Twitter poll.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go with that.
All right, what about St. Louis?
Let's see. What is St. Louis known for? They've got good ribs. And they've got a giant arch.
The
Let's
St.
see,
Louis
we'll call-
barbecues?
Let's call them the McRibs.
The St. Louis McRibs?
St. Louis McRibs.
Okay.
I like it.
Seattle, what do we got here? Like they're known for grunge music. What about like Utah Jazz? We can go Seattle grunge.
Seattle grunge. They've got a Space Needle. We could do like just kind of a play here. We look grunge music and needles. That goes together.
Seattle grunge needles.
Seattle grunge needles. Okay, you nailed it.
All right, Los Angeles. God, that's another city. Like, why do we need another sports team there?
Oh, well, they don't have any lakes, so we have nothing to do with lakes in that city. So we will not
Nothing
call
to do
them
with
anything
lakes.
to do with lakes. I don't know why
Nothing
anybody
like
would ever.
Lakers or anything like that.
No, ponders or dirty water,
You know what?
smog, pollution.
Let's just call them the Los Angeles LeBrons.
Ah,
No,
Yeah,
don't
okay,
like
I'm
it?
good with
The
that.
Los Angeles smog.
I would say the Los Angeles pollution.
Los
that's
Angeles. Oh, I
kinda-
like that.
You
Yeah,
got like
Los
a
Angeles
fear to it.
pollution.
There we go.
And then we have Dallas and Houston, which I feel like we're probably going to come up with some sort of Texas cowboy name.
Yeah. So what is that?
The Dallas.
Spurs. Oh no, that one's
yeah, but that's
taken.
already taken.
The Cowboys. Nope, that one's already
the Dallas
taken.
Tumbleweeds.
Yeah. I like. What about like the Dallas John Waynes? Was he from Dallas? He was probably from Oklahoma.
What about the Dallas Walker Texas Rangers?
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
All right. And then the Houston what? The Houston Jennies of Ohio's?
Yep, I can get with that.
Because I think that's where she lives now.
I have no idea, but we're gonna go with
I
it.
know like Scott's giving her trash for speaking about Ohio things when she lives in Houston.
Oh, okay. Well, you've got to find their weakness and just dig in, right?
Houston, what? Do we want to go space? Do we want to go Cowboys? What do we want to do? The
For a
Houston
second,
problems?
I know we're getting up against the commercial break, but we'll roll a little bit past it. I want to take a step back, and I just thought about this. You're right. Every team in Texas has to have some sort of like Cowboy Texas theme, right? You got the Texas Rangers, the Dallas Cowboys, San Antonio Spurs,
the
Houston
Texas
Texans,
Longhorns.
the Texas Like, come on, man. Can you not get original in that state? At least the Oilers.
Well,
you know?
Houston goes more towards space though. Like it's like the Houston Astros, the Houston Rockets.
Well,
They did have the Oilers.
Yeah, Houston, we have a problem.
Yep.
You're right. Houston is actually a little bit better with stuff because they're known for. I guess the state of Texas is known for their space program in Houston, and then cowboy stuff.
Cowboy stuff.
Yeah.
The Houston, not cowboy stuff.
Or the cowboy butt stuff.
Ooh.
Nope, inappropriate. Family
Went
show.
Brokeback
Sorry.
Mountain on us, huh?
Beep beep. Yeah, Brokeback. The Houston Brokeback Mountains. It's a straight up cowboy. All right, we're putting that in. Sorry,
Well, it's
Jenny,
not a
your name
straight.
has been
It's not a
redacted.
straight up cowboy.
It's,
The Houston Brokeback Mountains. Is that where we're going?
yep, it's been decided.
All right. Hit the commercial break music.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm off my game today. We've lost connection, and we'll be back. Hey, Kawhi, what are you laughing at, man? This isn't funny. Fantasy sports reimagined. FanDuel, that's what I'm talking about. It is more than just fantasy sports. It's the best way to watch the games, win real cash, and bring the action right to your living room. Just choose a contest, make your picks, watch, and win. And if you go to FanDuel.com/STR today, you can get a $5 deposit bonus. Once again, that's FanDuel.com/STR. Come on, man. This is not a laughing matter. If you've been listening to Scout Team Radio for a long time, you know that myself, Loudbeard, has placed a bet or two in his day. That's right, I've lost the beard bet, I lost the romper bet, but one place I don't like losing is when I bet money, and I can easily do that at MyBookie. That's right, you can go to mybookie.ag, use promo code 12OZSports, and get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Hey, guess what? That is a lot of money. Do it.
When I'm working hard, I build up a thirst for sports. That's when I grab a cold 12-ounce sports radio. "12-ounce sports radio. Quench your sports thirst."
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Patriot, Chris America, and I want you to listen every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and on replays from 11 a.m. to noon of Scout Team Sports. Listen, George Washington did not cross over the ocean blue in 1492 to defeat the Nazis, so you can listen to the same tired national clickbait sports stories. So once again, tune in to us every single morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and then we replay from 11 to noon. I will see you there, and God bless America.
Welcome back, and thank you all for listening in. We had breaking news over the commercial break. It looks like the Houston XFL team has adopted our new name suggestion, the Brokeback Mountains. This is happening, Chris America. Our dream is coming true. I love it. Thank you for listening to us. Once again, we're Scout Team Radio. I've got Chris America on the other mic. I'm Loudbeard. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m., right here on 12 Ounce Sports Radio. We also simulcast on the Full Press Radio Network, and we are part of the Barn Burner Podcast Network. We're all over the place. You can find us anywhere and everywhere. If you cannot catch us live, don't worry. Don't get stressed out about it. It's cool because you can always download our podcast, and you can find that podcast anywhere you find podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Google Play, anywhere you find them, you can find us. Lastly, make sure you get social with us. Hit us up on Twitter. Right now, we've got an active Twitter line going on. We got tweets coming in. We have Mike Berlon, Jenny of Ohio, David Green, all of our good friends and good listeners of the show tweeting in, and we appreciate you guys. Thank you for doing that. A lot of great feedback this morning. David Green, he was saying about, hey, you all need to study up on Dallas. They are not Cowboys there. And I said, well, you know, Cowboys, the whole Dallas Cowboy thing. And I think he corrected himself. His thread, he kind of said,
it
well,
wasn't just the Cowboys. It's the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Mavericks, and the Texas Rangers all reside in the Dallas Arlington area. So it's not us. It's you gotta talk to the sports teams that named their teams.
yeah,
Maybe they need
they're
to
not-
study up on Dallas.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And he says, and yes, I realize the Cowboys kind of ruined that. It's not just the Cowboys. Like you said, we've got Rangers and Mavericks in that same city.
And then you have
so-
like, what is it? The Dallas Stars, the hockey team, which they know. I would venture to guess, is the Dallas Stars mascot, when the dude that runs around the arena, is he dressed like a cowboy?
I'm going to say yes. I don't know if I really know the answer to that, but I'm going to say yes, just for your sake.
I hope
Is
he
that
looks
okay?
like. I mean, he's not gonna be a. What was Philadelphia's new mascot? What was his name?
Oh,
Fergie,
God.
Figgy.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember his name, but he still gives me nightmares. The way he stares into my soul, it burns. It burns my entire soul right there with one look.
Okay, so it's not a cowboy. It's some like green thing for the Dallas Stars.
Oh, that sucks.
He kind of does look like just your typical Philly fanatic, not the Philly fan. Yeah, like the Philly fanatic, but different.
Like Stuff the Magic Dragon in Orlando. Yeah, it's a little bit of that. Well, I can't. The anticipation, I can't wait for it any longer.
Columbus
Chris
has a
America.
weird, like looking like mean wasp thing, but it's green, so it kind of looks like a frog, but it has like red eyes. What the
Are you
hell
sure
is
it's not
going on,
supposed to
Jenny
be
of
blue?
Ohio?
It's Blue Jacket.
Well, it's a green-looking wasp thing. Yeah, Jenny of Ohio, what do you guys got going on over there with your Columbus Blue Jackets?
Yeah, the mascot's name is Gritty. Thank you, Mike Berlon, for hitting us up on
There it is.
Twitter. Gritty. I was gonna say Tweaker, but I thought
Tweaker. He
Just-
does look like a tweaker.
that's what he makes me feel when I'm looking at him.
And so stupid. The Dallas Stars mascot's name is Victor E. Green.
Victory. Well, that's a typical mascot name. It's stupid, but that's what
Victory
mascots
Green.
do. There we go. Without further ado, Chris America, I'm ready, man. I've been waiting all day for this. I can't
You
take
ready
it
for these
anymore.
Thinker or
Thinker.
stinkers?
Or the stinker.
I'm ready for it.
All right, you ready for it? We have, like we already said, we have the Tampa Bay Vipers.
Yes.
I'm trying to pull up the list. Okay, here we go. We have the Dallas Renegades.
Oh my God! Another cowboy name, huh? the Rangers, the Mavericks, the Cowboys, and the Renegades coming to you, Dallas. Let's be unoriginal in 10,000 different ways about a city that's more of a city than a cowboy town. Yeah, that is going to be a straight up stinker. I've never heard of such a stinker as the Dallas Renegade. I mean, I want Lorenzo Lamas to be my mascot in this one. It's terrible.
All right, you ready for the next one?
I'm ready.
We'll stick in Texas. The Houston Roughnecks.
Oh my God. Are you serious? The Roughnecks?
Mm-hmm.
Who comes up with this stuff? Like, are you being serious right now? Are you trolling me? Because I didn't look
No.
at these names.
No.
This is my
Houston
initial reaction.
Roughnecks.
Oh my God. No.
So Stinker? I'm
Have-
guessing Stinker?
What? I have no words to describe how terrible that name is. That is okay. Do they get worse than that? Like, was that the worst? No, it gets worse. Oh, come on. There's got to get worse than that. Like, how do you Houston Roughnecks?
Yes.
The Roughnecks? Like, who does this? Fire that person. Vince. Vince, you need to fire that person. Oh, wait, it was you, Vince? You're gone. Vince McMahon, you're out. This is it. Yeah, this league isn't going to last more than 3 games.
Are you
Not
ready?
with those names.
Los Angeles Wildcats.
Wildcats. Wildcats. What?
They should have gone with like LA Pumas if they're gonna go that way.
Our names are so much better.
Yeah.
Why Wildcats? What is this?
Ready for Seattle? Remember we went
Is it?
Seattle
No.
Grunge Needles.
No, I can't. I can't get past the Wildcats. Isn't there a Kentucky Wildcats? Like, why would
There's
you still
so many There's the Arizona Wildcats, the Kentucky Wildcats. You're right. It's more of like a college
That's a
team.
college team name. Okay. Let's go to Seattle. It can't get any worse than that, can it?
The Seattle Dragons.
Dragons. God, I feel
Maybe
like
they're big. Maybe they're big Game of Thrones fans in Seattle.
the Dragons are terrible. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the Khaleesi's gonna fly in on her dragon. Their inaugural game and make it a big to do. Yeah, the Dragons isn't the worst name, but it just makes me think of maybe like a 10-year-old named them.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
that's your Western Conference. Are you ready for the
Okay.
Eastern Conference?
I don't know. The Western Conference is so solid. It's such a solid lineup. I don't know if the East is going to be able to hold a candle to all that.
All right, I should have gone with the Eastern Conference first because it's not as bad as the Western Conference, but we
Okay.
have the DC Defenders.
Okay, Defenders makes me think of that Marvel series that should have been better.
Okay.
It's fair. We'll give that one
Yeah.
a fair. I'll give it a half thinker.
All right. Ready? I don't know which one was named first, but New York followed suit with the New York Guardians.
All right. I can't live with 2 of them. Like, you can't have Defenders and Guardians. Like,
Yeah.
talk about following a theme, right? Like, you're like, okay, all right, well, we got Guardians here. Let's do Defenders here. Yeah, this sounds great. Like, I think I like the Guardians name a little bit better. Like, I can dig the Guardians, but the Defenders, that one needs to go away. Like, you can't have both. I don't know. Yeah, this has been pretty disappointing so far. I have to say, whoever's naming these XFL teams should be fired on the spot. Absolutely.
All right. Tampa Bay Vipers, we already know that one.
Yep.
And now for the 8th and final team. I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert. This is the best one that they had by far.
I'll use my
You'll be the
opinion
judge
on
of that?
I'll be the judge of that. Yep.
The St. Louis Battlehawks.
Okay, you're right. That's the best one.
Yeah.
I can live with that one. I can live with that one. The Battlehawks.
That is what
that's
they
something
should
we
have
would
stuck
come
with
up
that. Like the Battlehawks. That's awesome.
That guy needs a raise. Whoever came up with
Yeah.
the Battlehawks gets a raise. Everybody else fired on the spot. And if they do need some help naming their teams, we have the Giant Worms. We have the Brokeback Mountains. The Grunge Needles. Out of our names, I think the Grunge Needles was our best name.
Yes, it was.
Seattle Grunge Needles. It makes so much sense. They have a Space Needle, and they like grunge music. The Seattle Grunge Needles. Why is this so difficult? We
It's
came
not
up
that
with that in a
difficult.
matter of minutes. XFL, call me up, man. Hit me up on Twitter. You can hit me up at Loudbeard on Twitter, XFL, and I will do some consultant work for you because you obviously need a little help.
Okay, so Loudbeard, they have a tiered system for their signing of players. Okay.
I have
And
a
this
tier
is-
system for their names. I'm crying
They must
over
have been
here.
listening to
Sucks.
Scout Team Radio because this is an idea that I had for the NBA to pay their players. So tier 1, you get one franchise player designation, and they could be paid $25,000 to $60,000. And there's only one player that gets that. Tier 2, you only get 3 players that can sign at that. And sorry, that's $25,000 to $60,000 per game. All of these numbers are per game numbers. So then you have 3 slots that can get paid 15 to 17, 6 to 10 for tier 3, which is 23 players, and then you have 18 slots per team, making the 4th tier, which is $5,000 to $6,000. I actually like that because again, that was my original idea for the NBA.
I like it. It's a great idea. And yeah, they stole that from you. And the good news is we have it recorded live. Well, recorded.
It was
and
live
or,
at the time.
Yeah, it was live at the time. And we could go back to that recording and we could sue Vince McMahon. I'm going to be a part of this. We're partners, Chris America. Remember that. Just remember that. So it was your idea, but we'll go through with this lawsuit together so I can get rich also.
So I guess McMahon also owns a minority stake of DraftKings. So the XFL will be running its official fantasy football and betting operations through that service.
Okay. Well, that ain't good. I mean, 12 Ounce Sports Radio has Thrive as their official fantasy guys. And us here, we have a sponsorship with the other one, FanDuel. So DraftKings, we don't have any association there. Come on, Vince, step up your game.
Now, you know who the commissioner is, right?
Yeah, it's Andrew Luck's dad, right?
Yeah, Oliver Luck, which sounds more like a Tom Sawyer character than a commissioner for an NFL, XFL, a sports league.
Agreed. Yep, I agree with that.
All right, Lovebeard, I think we've XFL'd it enough. That's
I don't
probably going to be
think
the
so.
most we talk about the XFL for a really long time.
Yeah, until it gets, disbanded. And then we'll have great conversations about it.
You know, after seeing the team names and the locations, I'm like, I don't want to root for any of these teams.
I don't know.
I might get me a Battlehawk shirt.
I was gonna say I've officially adopted the Battlehawks, and I guess the intention was to go everywhere there was a NFL team. I mean,
Yeah.
I liked AAF's philosophy a little bit better. Now, the AAF had some teams that definitely did better than others. San Antonio had a pretty good following. Orlando had a good following.
Yeah.
And, Salt Lake City sucked. We all knew that would happen. So maybe the AAF, like what the XFL should have done is maybe peppered it in and done, okay, half of our teams will be where current NFL teams are. And then the other half will be cities that are large markets that can support an NFL team, just don't have one yet. Not that there's a lot of those large markets, but Orlando, San Antonio, those would have been better places.
Yeah.
You know, Dallas and Houston both have NFL teams. When San Antonio is a big city that has an NBA team, I just, never mind. I don't even want to talk about it because it's already pissing me off.
The San Antonio Renegades.
I can't talk about it. It's aggravating. Thanks a lot, XFL. You've ruined my morning already. Not in the mood for you and your crap, Vince McMahon. Just over you. I'm done with it. Well, let's talk about real football. I need to talk about real football. Let's end the show on a good note. Kyler Murray, he's gonna have a great year, Chris America.
So,
They just
wait, I
added
want to go back.
Oh, you want to piss me off more?
Yeah, I'm
see.
sorry.
Mhm.
Here
No,
were
you're
the
not.
old names. The Birmingham Thunderbolts, the Chicago Enforcers, the New York Hitmen, the Orlando Rage, the Las Vegas Outlaw, the LA Extreme, the Memphis Maniacs with an X, and the San Francisco Demons. Where did they put that guy who named all of those teams? Because all of those are home runs.
Yeah, they're all pretty good. They are.
Thunderbolts was the only one where I was like, but the rest of them, I like
I'm not
it.
a big fan of the Extreme. I think that's too.
Really, the LA Extreme?
Yeah, I'm
But I
not
mean,
digging that one.
It goes with the XFL theme.
Yeah, they all are 10 times better than what they've got now, other than the Battlehawks.
LA Extreme or LA Wildcats? Like, come on, it's a no-brainer.
Oh well, Wildcats could possibly be the worst name of the entire league. I mean,
Either that or Roughnecks.
oh God, why? Why do we do this to ourselves? Who did they survey anybody? Did they do like opinion polls? What did they do to come up with these names? This is not good. The XFL's already starting off on a very, very bad foot. Like they took one step forward and then named the teams and took 17 steps backwards. Not looking good for you, XFL. All right, can I move forward now? Or you?
Yeah, go ahead.
You XFL out. All right. I was just gonna say Kyler Murray gets another weapon at his disposal. Michael Crabtree signs with the Cardinals, so Kyler Murray's gonna have Larry Fitz, who's on the back end of his career. Crabtree, he can be a decent receiver, so they're trying to get some weapons over there for him. He still has David Johnson as a running back. So I'm actually kind of excited to see what this Cardinals team looks like once the regular season starts, because this offense could be pretty exciting, especially with a guy like Kyler Murray who brings so much pizzazz to the position.
Yeah, I think a lot will depend on the rookie coach and the rookie quarterback as far as that's concerned. They might be one of those teams where the offense is explosive, but the defense is trash.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because the defense, I don't know that they're going to be that great. Other football news, Melvin Gordon, it looks like his holdout is going to extend over into the regular season. We have another running back. So now we've got Ezekiel Elliott and Melvin Gordon. These are two big-time named running backs that are going to be holding out, and both of them look like they could extend over into the regular season. Is this going to be a loss for the fans? I mean, think about how fantasy football drives interest in NFL, and think about these positions and these players and these big programs of the Chargers and the Dallas Cowboys, if you will. Is this going to be a problem for the NFL, or is it like just next man up?
I mean, I think it's going to have to be next man up, and I really think, man, we got to get the CBA thing figured out to where we don't have these holdouts all the time. Now we have. Do you think we have less of them now or more of them?
It feels like it's more. I don't know if that's just the feeling, but it does feel like there's more holdouts.
Because they give these rookies these like trash deals now. Like Ezekiel Elliott would be making so much more money on the former CBA. And I think we just went from one extreme to another extreme, and you can't do that. You got to find a middle ground somewhere, I think, Loudbeard.
Yeah, you do. They did that swing, and Sam Bradford was part of that reason, right? Like they had to pay him $60 million guaranteed because he was the number one pick, because it just kept escalating to a point where the teams are like, dude, I can't pay a guy in the first round $60 million and still be a viable option for us here.
Especially if he's a bust.
Team. Yeah, if he's a bust, then now we go from being a terrible team that needs the number one pick overall to being a terrible team that needs the number one pick overall. Like you're really just hamstringing us. So the NFL's like, okay, let's go ahead and change it.
And they had the player support. They had the player support because veterans were like, wait, so this guy gets to come in, prove nothing, and make $60 million, and I'm still down here, one of the top quarterbacks in the league making $10 million a year? How does that work?
Right. Yeah, they're like, that's not fair. But they went too extreme. Absolutely too extreme. And that's really not good for NFL either. All right. 2 minutes left. I do have one baseball story I have to say. I feel like I always have to sneak one in at the end. It makes me feel good about myself. I don't know why. So I have record-breaking news. The Baltimore Orioles, they've been kind of a bad team this year, and that's maybe an understatement. But they have broken a record, or tied a record. They have tied the record with the Cincinnati Reds for teams that have allowed the most home runs in a single season. The 2016 Cincinnati Reds were holding the record. Now the Baltimore Orioles hold that record. And Chris America, to break that tie, they only have 35 more games left to break that tie and go into single top place for the record for most home runs allowed. That's a terrible record to hold.
Better juice them balls some more.
Or get some sex pills. Give them to the pitchers.
The ones with tigers on them.
Yes. If you give your pitcher a sex pill, the league's not going to random drug test them till at least 2 or 3 months down the road. It might be in the off season. You're not going to have to worry about that till next year. But I mean, you got to hold your record, right? Like you got to hold it down. You can't have all these teams hitting home runs off of you. Go ahead. Give them a little Sex Panther or Sex Tiger. They need it. These guys need a little juice,
Sex
a little jump. All right.
I'm down for it, man.
Like Chris America in the convenience store after grabbing 17 sex tigers, this show is out.
It's a hard out.
That's what she said.